Hi there. In this video, I want to explain to you this pages report, which I have in the background here, which is an analysis of everything that takes place on URLs that you are tracking with the Dreamdata script. So if I just wanted to head out over here because it will not populate before you do this. So you need to take our JavaScript, install it on your website, and our form tracking, and make sure that we track every form submit on your website. These two things we use to make sure we track every visitor on the website, stored it in the data warehouse that we've set up on your behalf. And then we anonymously build a record of what is this device doing while they're on your website. And then using the form tracking, we will then, whenever people identify themselves by pushing through a form, download ebook, sign up to newsletter, sign into product, etc., then we take the known identity and resolute with the anonymous behavior as we get the consent to do so. Now let's move into the page report here, which is similar to what we have in events, but however, what we're analyzing here is only things that takes place specifically on URLs. It's meant to be sort of a Google Analytics for B2B companies. So what we have here is everything is related to a B2B context and not just being individual devices and individual users. Everything you see here is considered into a B2B world. Now, as you know from other tools, you need to select the time period you want to understand. So you select that here. If you're using Dreamdata's free product, it will say first business conversion here, which is basically the first time that the data models see a conversion from one account. If you're paying for Dreamdata, then you'll see that we actually have your real CRM data here and enabling you to see real sales pipeline or actually deals that you've won in this time period you've selected. So as you see here, we've basically recorded 163,000 sessions in this time period. Those came from 102 visitors. Out of those 102 visitors, we got 10,000 contacts, emails, and those 10,000 contacts represent 2,700 companies. Out of those 2,700 companies, we saw 1,200 of them actually reaching the SQL stage, sales qualified leads, representing a value of 2.4 million. And then, this is kind of self-explanatory, but this is the amount of unique page visitors, views per visitor. How many times a company sees pages in average to reach sales qualified lead, and how many visitors there actually is per company. So here you see there's two stakeholders to reach sales qualified lead. And then down here on the graph and in the table, you see the things that kind of from typically your Google Analytics. Which pages? What is this sorted by right now? I don't know. Maybe it's over here. Yeah, so it's actually sorted by what is the URLs right now that influences the most leads, meaning sales qualified leads. We can also go all the way to newbies here, and then you'll see the number gets smaller, but then it's actually deals that you've won. So this dummy data here represents, for this company, the front page obviously touches most deals, but then you can keep studying what are actually the important pages when people actually buy my product. Not where people land, not where people do their first conversion to an email, but when they actually buy, what are the URLs that they are looking at. You can choose to see which URLs has the most visitors. I sorted upside down, that's why. You can see where did we get the most conversions from. Let's just do that. So you see a lot of people signs up for free, signs up to the newsletter. And I want to show you what we have over here. So in a world where you're only able to understand the conversion that takes place on the specific website, you never really consider the intent behind the action. So what is it, this page? So in this period, there was 797 conversions to signing up to the newsletter. And if you measure it on just emails you collected, that might be a big victory or not. But what we do for you is that we sanity check it. Is this a meaningful conversion when people are actually buying your product? And as you can see here, only 8 out of those roughly 800 people who signed up to the newsletter was part of deals that you actually won. That's a massive difference here. So there's other things that represents much better conversions for your business. So what we're trying to move you from is, it's nice with having leading indicators like conversions, but what actually matters are the lacking indicators of, real pipeline, real revenue, real deals that you win. And this we enable you here through Pages, because our tracking script is tracking every URL that is viewed within every session. And then it's glued together with the revenue component, which you only have inside of the CRM system, typically in a B2B company. So it's a radically new way to look at your web traffic in a B2B context. I hope it makes sense so far. Let's try to use the page just a little bit. You can isolate certain URLs. You can isolate the host of the tracking. So let's say use this dummy data to say, let's say it has to be the Dreamdata website. Then you can have your specific content categories if you have certain projects running, like writing for the blog, the data platform, FAQ pages, and so forth. It can be you want to understand which pages are people actually using inside of, if you're in this dummy data, our product. We can also filter by, a classic SEO case would be, sorry, I need to go to channel instead. So I want to filter by organic search. So let's look at how much data are we get, how many sessions are we getting, how many visitors are we getting that started from organic search, and you'll see that. You can isolate different other referrals of traffic and try to understand how are they doing. So let's try to say social, and then see, again, you can see how many visitors do you get, how many emails do you get, but also how many actual sales qualified leads had a touch from social. And then you can see, again, which URL, sorry, I need to, which of the, what am I doing? I will just expand it. Then I can use it. So where do people land from social? How are they converting? But also, are they actually impacting real business? I can add a secondary group by to say which URLs, what was the previous URL before they came to the website? And in this case of this dummy data here, you can see that most of the data is arriving from, or most of the visitors are arriving from LinkedIn.com. Some come from Twitter and so forth. What else we got? Yeah, again, you can, as the other reports here, you can manipulate what is on the, what are you viewing over time here? So you can say, I want to look at how many contacts do we collect over time, how many sessions, how many deals, and so forth. It's all easily accessible here, and you don't worry, you cannot break anything by clicking anything here. Every time you click, we just query the data warehouse and return you with an answer. Again, you have all the segmentation you can do on Google Analytics as well, which operating systems are people on, which devices do people use, and so forth. All of it is centered around tracking what takes place on your pages. We then give it a B2B context in the data model, and we also extract, if you're paying, we extract your real CRM data. So you understand not just the conversion, but actually what happened later on, which is what matters for us in B2B. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm happy to elaborate if you just reach out to us on Dreamdata People on LinkedIn, and we will answer any questions you might have. Bye.